Do you know the difference between a woman that actually has depth versus the ones that are difficult? Let's be real here. Sometimes those moments where the relationship is mysterious and random and fun and exciting, it brings so much into your relationship. Like, that's how you get addicted to her. But there's a difference between that in a healthy way and something that's very unhealthy down the road that totally destroys your life. A mysterious woman makes you curious about her because her life is unique. And a difficult woman makes you confused on where you stand with her. Confusion feels very unstable. I have a lot of men reach out to me where they're totally clueless on where they stand in this woman's life. They don't even know if she likes him, and that's pretty bad for the most part. And yes, it's totally normal, especially for those of us who have anxiety or we're overthinkers. Sometimes, especially in the beginning, we may be feeling a little insecure about ourselves, especially if we got out of a difficult relationship. And we might second guess ourselves and be like, okay, I don't know if this person actually likes me. Some of that is normal. But I'm seeing more and more women purposely learning how to manipulate men in different ways, and this is one of them. And a woman can have standards and expectations out of relationships just fine, but you shouldn't always feel like you're failing in every single way. She can be slow and take her time without giving you mixed signals. She can show interest, but maybe she's the type of woman that wants to take it slow. And I see that as a green flag, even if it's sometimes frustrating. And a woman can be private about her personal life when she doesn't know you that well without completely being emotionally unavailable. And she can be selective without being rude and snotty and inconsistent with you, which I see this a lot. Some women think they have high standards or whatnot, but the reality is they're just being incredibly rude. A woman who is genuinely just kind of mysterious and exciting has a huge life outside of dating. She has depth. She has hobbies. She takes time to trust people. She doesn't hand over all the trust right off the bat. And I know that can be frustrating sometimes, but again, that's a green flag. She doesn't trauma dump on the first day. I hear this a lot. And for some women, like I'll talk to some men and he's like, I feel like I'm being used, but I don't know why. And then I talk to him and this woman will be giving him intimate details about her life, or she just kind of talks at him or vents at him constantly. You do realize that's labor, right? You do realize that a woman can use you for that, right? That's why a lot of women will actually put men in their friend zone. That's kind of the role you start to play long term. Also, you want a woman that's warm and not desperate. And she communicates enough for you so you know exactly where you stand. Now, what does difficulty look like? She'll purposely make you jealous. Maybe she checks out another man in front of you. She insinuates that she's talking to 52 other guys to make you feel like you're less than. She'll take forever to reply on purpose. There's a difference between her sleeping or being at her job. Naturally, she's not going to respond quickly. And sometimes it can take a while to get to the point where you know which one it is. But if you know she's deliberately like avoiding you, that's a big red flag. She wants effort, but she punishes any effort that you make, so you feel like you can't do anything good enough. She purposely keeps you uncertain because then she gets leverage. Sometimes men make the mistake where they're like, oh my gosh, I am so nervous around her. I must really like her. And you think you like her, but the reality is you're nervous around her because your nervous system is detecting how unstable she is. Also, sometimes if she's hard to get, you see her as high value when the reality is she's just not right for you. She's annoying. Or if she's unpredictable, you assume that the chemistry is strong. But just because a woman is hard to read doesn't necessarily mean she has depth. In fact, I'm noticing a lot of women who are a bit shallow, they know all the games. They've read all the books. Sometimes she's flat out just emotionally immature. She's avoidant, or even she's playing games with you. So if she has the mindset, I'm taking my time to get to know you because, you're a stranger, valid. And that's a green flag. But if it's more, you should just know, you should read my mind, and then she does these weird things that you're really just sitting there like, what normal person would do stuff like that? Then that's probably a good indication that you're picking up on something deeper. Mystery is, I like you, but I'm going to move slowly to get to know you. Whereas difficulty means I'm going to purposely run away so you have to chase me. And sometimes those relationships where they're kind of, I don't want to say boring, but they're less exciting as maybe someone else you've dated. Sometimes those women are the genuine good women. They're just a little, like I tell women all this time that sometimes those stable, boring men are actually the best men they could ever date. So that's worth keeping in mind. You can get along and have things in common, and sometimes those are the best women. Sometimes those crazy experiences and feelings that you have early on are actually signs that she could be unstable. That is not foolproof, and it doesn't mean that every time. That's why you got to look for the signs. And then also heavy emphasis is if she sees everybody else as a problem and she doesn't see where she's the problem. That's a big one.